Greetings, my name is Josephine Vargas, and I welcome you all to this presentation in which I will be sharing my Shift Mentality Controller designed for my project at Future Ready Engineers program. Before we start, I want to thank a few people, between those names being Dominic, Manuel, Jay Parker, my facilitator Chloe, my mentor Carlos, and all the guest speakers who inspire me throughout this process. I am truly grateful for this amazing opportunity. I learned a lot in this short period of time, which I will apply later on my career as an engineer. A little bit about me. I am an AF student at the Academy of Engineering. I am going to be a junior next semester at Benito Cerezo Vasquez High School in Aguadilla, Puerto Rico. I inspire to become a mechanical engineer and to major in mechanical engineering and electrical engineering. My passions revolves around using engineering, math, and science to solve the problems around me and to always keep learning new skills. With this invention, I want to make people in my community have a better quality of life. This invention facilitates people with hand impairments and physical impairments in daily lives, impacting their quality of life positively. My project is an invention called Shift Mentality Controller for people with hand impairments and other physical disabilities. With this presentation, I will be explaining how and why people with hand impairments and physical disabilities will benefit from a controller for the television. My problem derives from the issue that the current solutions to help people with hand impairments and or physical disabilities to watch TV are outdated and not viable in most cases. The current solutions we have and why they don't work. The first one we have is jumbo controllers, which are outdated since most modern televisions such as Roku, SmartCast, LG, Apple TV, and Samsung don't use traditional controller that most cable televisions use. The second one is the voice remote controller, which is not viable in every case since there's not an exact number of mute people, but we estimate that about 8 in every 10,000 people are mute. Most of them are mute due to injury or issues regarding the broadcast area of the brain. The last, and for many people the most obvious, is caretaker's assistance. And while caretakers are great helpers, most people with hand impairments and or physical disabilities will rather have some sort of independency when watching television. Let's remember that disabled people are the only minority group of people that were not born into that group. Four out of every 5 disabled people were born without any type of disability. Any day we or someone we love could become disabled. To put things into perspective and why is this problem such a relevant issue and who it affects is currently more than 3 million people in the US alone suffer from some sort of hand impairment, such as carpal tunnel syndrome, arthritis, neuropathy, and hand osteoarthritis. About 7 to 10 million people worldwide have Parkinson's disease. Having the opportunity to watch television freely and independently will greatly impact their mental health. Solution. My solution is to create the Shift Mentality Controller, which is a horizontal 6-bit buttons pad that can be used as a controller for people with disabilities. For many people who have hand impairments and or physical disabilities, television is one of their main form of escapism. This solution helps people with limited to non-existent hand movement to control their television freely and independently, thus helping them have a better mentality. Every button of the controller will measure about 1 9/16 inches and 9/16 inches of space between each button. The buttons are big and kind of chunky. I don't know how to explain it well. And kind of chunky to help people to press the correct button. The Shift Mentality Controller measures about 13 by 4 inches total. The buttons will be positioned horizontally so that people who use the product don't accidentally touch the correct button with another part of their arm. It also makes the design more simple and easier for users. Buttons bowls have textures to facilitate the usage of the product for people who are blind, or you simply cannot look down. The 6th button will be a shift button to maximize usage. The way it will work, it will be making it so that once the shift button is pressed, the user can touch other buttons with their functions being changed. And once the person is done with the button, they just have to press the shift button again and all the functions will go back to the regular functions. Just like cap locks in your laptop. Button functions. The first button will be power on off like most regular controllers. The second button will be a volume up, has a regular function, and with the shift button it will be volume down. Bottom 3 will be move up, has the regular function, and it will be move down with the shift button. Bottom 4 will be move left, has a regular function, and move right once using the shift button. Bottom 5 will be select, or also known as OK, and it's the regular function, and with the shift button it will also be undo, also known as back. Button 6 is the shift button that doubles the functions of bottom 2 to 5. This is a rough design. As you can see, the rough design has all the names. Currently, they don't actually have, the actual mockup design doesn't have the names or the signs, but it will be added and they will have texture. So this is just to give a more clear idea, and this is the design I came up with. And now for the benefits. You may be wondering, what are the benefits? For many people who have physical disabilities and or hand impairments, as we already talked about, they use television as a form of escapism, and it will give the user more freedom and independence. Access to television, it will greatly benefit their overall mental health. This invention focuses on giving freedom and independence to the user. Watching television will keep their mind stimulated, especially if the person is bedridden. It will also help with social integrations, hence they can watch things according to their interests, be up to date with the current news, and explore new things in their own account. This invention will be simple and easy to use for the elderly. Now, some of the issues I came up with when I was going through this presentation was figuring what was the perfect size for this invention, since it's a really big buttons and chunky, and there's 6 of them, which I was really struggling to see what the balance on how big it should be to achieve the function set goals, while also being small enough for some of the user's commodity. To overcome that, I did some analysis in my options after doing some equations, the numbers that seemed to be the best balance in making each button 1 and 9/16 inches, with the 9/16 inches making the of space between, making the contour measure 13 by 4 inches total. And this will be where the wrap-up section will be, but I don't have it yet, so I'm just giving you the sources. Thank you so much for listening, and I hope this presentation helped you understand the issue and explain the concepts clearly.